last year, even when he came back, and the versatility that he showed, coming in the end of the year and reducing inside and playing defensive tackle, and just an all-time Eagles great, and future Eagles Hall of Famer. Well, we usually take 7 or 8 guys to camp. We only have 3 on the roster right now, so definitely think we'll have to address it. It's a priority position for us, and we'll just kind of try to manage our own guys, free agency, and the draft to bring the best outcome possible that we can. It always starts up front for us in Philadelphia. I think that Jake has been a tremendous kicker for us since we got him off the practice squad in Cincinnati in 2017. Tremendously clutch. Have a lot of confidence in him as a player, as a kicker, as a person, a captain on our team, and continue to believe in him as our place kicker. I think the more people you interview, just like when you go through this, when you watch a lot of players, it's easy to compare all those guys, And so for us, casting a wide net, being able to hear everyone's vision, have them articulate to us how it would fit our players, because it's always about our players. With Sean, it was just the system of play that he wanted to run, how he's going to articulate it, how he was going to do that with all of our players was really exciting. I think he's got a tremendous future, and we got to help him by bringing good players.
With the offensive play callers, I was talking to other GMs, Joe Ortiz, about how to evaluate play calling. He said during the process he has actually game film and asking to call plays. What's kind of your history with that, and do you do things like that?
Yeah, obviously we have our way of interviewing people. We've interviewed coordinators here a little bit over the last couple of years. Been fortunate to have success and guys leave, and obviously made some decisions here that put us in position to interview some coordinators, and feel like we have a really good process led by Coach Sirianni on the offense coordinator. He'd probably be the right person to ask the question about.
We'll get back to Eagles general manager Howie Roseman in just a moment, but first a reminder, if you want more exclusive coverage from the NFL Combine in Indianapolis, I'll be here all week. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, this is a pivotal offseason coming up for this football team. They're looking to flush what was a very disappointing 2025 campaign. We're giving you free daily videos all offseason long. Plus, you think about the NFL calendar. NFL free agency is going to be here right around the corner. The NFL draft at the end of April. You don't want to miss our high-level, top-notch content here. Plus, we take pride in giving you interactive and informative coverage as well, and we always love hearing from you. So lock us in, hit that subscribe button, and let's get back to Howie Roseman.
A hugely important position for the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't think any team in the history of the NFL has benefited more from the backup quarterback position for the Philadelphia Eagles. My bad. Yeah, I think that when you look at Q and Coop leading that group, 2 All-Pro players, guys who want to be part of Philadelphia Eagles for a long time. Really, Coop, he can play anything. He can play outside corner. He can play nickel. He can play at an all-pro level anywhere. So having him gives you some flexibility. And so, we'll go into the offseason and looking to add to that position. Adore did a really nice job for us last year. And it got better throughout the course of the year. And so just like any other position, he's a free agent. And we'll just kind of see how the offseason plays out.
With Cooper, as a follow-up to that, with Cooper, I guess, how do you view the value he brings in the nickel position and compared to somewhere maybe outside or at safety? Elite player at the nickel position. And so when you have someone who's elite at something and you move him, he could be elite as an outside corner too. But when he's able to affect the run game, he's able to affect the pass game, the screen game, from there, and you just see the difference that he makes in that role. And then when he plays outside, very little separation. He's obviously got size, speed, unique athletic ability. I joke he could be an elite receiver. He could probably be an elite quarterback too. I've seen him throw the ball too. So just an elite athlete with elite character, and just happy he's a Philadelphia Eagle. You have players who might be willing to trade and might garner interest. Do you try to establish what it would take before you even get those
Yeah, you always try to make decisions in calm times. You don't. We do the same thing in the draft. We have a value for, every player on the roster, so that we don't get sideswiped on anything. That we understand what we would do. That doesn't mean we would trade them, but at the same time, we got to be open to listen on everything that we do here. That's what a lot of this week's about. That's what a lot of the first couple weeks of free agency is about. That doesn't mean there'll necessarily be action, but you got to be willing to listen. We'll do that during the draft as well, and decide what's the best for the Philadelphia Eagles. At the end of the day, everything we do is what's best for the Philadelphia Eagles, so that we can try to compete and hopefully win another championship. Yeah, tremendous player in person for the Philadelphia Eagles. Really glad we were able to figure it out and bring him back to Philadelphia this year and for this season, and tremendously productive for us. Just a huge asset for our offense to have him on our football team. Again, we got to put the whole puzzle together. And so to sit here, we got a lot of other free agents too, and say, hey, we're definitely going to get this guy back. When we get this late, obviously the market dictates a lot of that as well, but, we'll certainly sit down with his agent here over the next couple of days and have a conversation. Very appreciative of Dallas Goedert.
Hey man, how are you?
I'm doing great, buddy. How you doing?
Doing good. So when we're in a position like this in the offseason and you have to face some hard decisions of who's staying and who's going, what are some priorities for the Philadelphia Eagles right now?
Yeah, I think you got to go back to how you want to build the team first and foremost. What is your priorities in building the team? Because when we have this many players coming up for second contracts on their rookie deals, it's going to be hard for us to keep all of them. The good news is we have a compensatory system where we can get some draft picks back in the future for some of these guys who've meant so much to us if we can't sign everyone. But you got to make priorities, and you can't only do that by playing favorites. You got to also do it by your vision of how you build the team. And so we'll try to be pretty clear about our vision to the extent that we can, and get those guys back and continue to build on top of that. I think it's staying true to your board and making sure that at every position that you're grading them clearly based on their value in the league, what kind of players they are. They're going to be in the league that you project them to be. Obviously, you can't have any guarantees on that. And you stack the board, and then you stack it horizontally and vertically. And as you get into the draft, you look where you are, and then you have those conversations about this or that at every position, including quarterback. Well, he's always continuing to improve work ethic, looking for incremental ways to get better. This system, we think, is going to be really good for him as well as a lot of our other players. He's always looking for a system of play, and we think that we have that. And so just really excited to get him back in the spring and get the reps and continue to learn the principles that Sean's looking to bring to our offense and go from there.
There's already talk of how to keep the second draft process. How do you balance being aggressive in terms of parting with picks beyond this year versus knowing the process that's coming up?
I think that we always look 1 year out, and we always look with optimism, and I think last year at this time there was probably optimism about this draft and where this draft was going and what it could be. You got to go into each draft understanding the value of the players that are in that particular draft, and if the value changes at a certain point in time, then fun. Then I think that at the end of the day, then you can make decisions based on that. Yeah, I think you left out Will there too. I think that those three guys have complementary skill sets, really talented players. Really excited to see what they're going to be able to do in 2026, and feel really confident that they're going to be put in great position to succeed. I was just laughing because I don't think I used guarantee. I think it was the other guy who's going to get hit with that. But
Does that precipitate teams recent years?
is precipitate what happens when it rains? I don't understand. Yeah, it is. I think that at the end of the day, there's a lot of conversations in the offseason about players on your team, on other teams. That's really the job. That's the fun part about the offseason is the opportunities to improve your team, the opportunities to make trades. But at the end of the day, again, we're trying to get better, and it's hard to do that if you're just subtracting great players. We'll do whatever's in the best interest of our team to be better for this year and going forward. Anything that puts us in position that we think to potentially win another championship. So every decision will be made with that, no matter who the player is. I think obviously we have a free agent at that position, and a guy that we drafted, a guy that we think is a really good player for sure, and unbelievable character. And so, all those decisions here will be made in the next couple of weeks.
What is your perspective of Reed's development over the course of the last few years in the Valley?
Yeah, really proud of Reed, undrafted free agent, and played in 2 Super Bowls, 4 years, 4 playoff appearances. Was a captain this year for our team. Tremendous player, tremendous person. And that's how I feel about Reed. I think that for us, that's probably going to be hard to do. We got a lot of free agents. We're trying to keep a lot of guys together. I think the best way to do that is probably with extensions as opposed to 1-year deals. Well, Jahan's a free agent. I think we have a couple young players behind him who have shown flashes of a skill set that we're looking for. And we got to continue to build that room. And so we'll have opportunities again in free agency and the draft to look at that position and continue to build on it. Well, you certainly see his fit with Coach Fangio and our defense, which a lot of times when you're talking about free agency is a big part of free agency. How's this guy going to fit into our defense? So you see that there. You've been with the guy. He's got tremendous character, tremendous work ethic. And then all the things that you're doing, you're trying to balance the other factors that go along with that to try to come down with the value. And, you work with everything just like we're here. We're part of being here. Part of the benefit of being here is the medical information, We get in situations where we get really excited, and then a week from now, we'll have some medical information that will change some of the evaluation. So that's always part of the decision making. Seems like a local. Not a lot of. I don't know what you want. I don't know that you can do anything about it. I don't know you can do anything. Not that I don't like seeing you guys. So, again. I don't know. I think that, when you draft guys and you see them have success, you want to keep them around. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Yeah. I don't know. I can't speak at the ownership level for what they're looking for and who's been hired. I don't know that there's been a tremendous amount of change at the GM level. But, when you talk about those guys and working with those guys and, some of those guys I haven't seen yet. So really excited to see those guys and just proud of them. And it's fun. I think that's part of legacy. I think at this point, legacy is continuing to win at a high level, and then seeing people you care about get jobs that they've dreamed of. And so when you say that, and I'm kind of jealous that I wasn't along the row hanging with them while they were doing that. Bob gave me a late tea time. Is that what it late tea time? Yeah. Well, I consider all those guys friends, and just. But at the same time, when we play them, I hope we kick their ass.
All right. Thanks, folks.
What was the first part? Easy bet. Yeah, I think that that's another guy, obviously, that you draft, you develop, tremendous character, and continues to get better. So that's a group of a lot of players that we have tremendous confidence in, and the puzzle is trying to keep as many of them together as we possibly can.
All right, thanks.
Thank you,
Now
guys.
You guys got 56 minutes with